scientists before. What would happen if they hadn't discovered any theory? Alfred Russel Wallace, a British naturalist, explorer, geographer, anthropologist, and biologist, discovered the process of evolution, something that changed the universe forever. He was born on January 8, 1823, at Monmouthshire. Russell was the eighth of 9 children in a poor family. During his early life, he worked in socialist working men's clubs. This helped Wallace develop a strong socialist bent that influenced his scientific work. What discoveries made this scientist so famous? He co-authored with Darwin the first ever publication on natural selection, a book named On the Theory of a Species to Form Varieties, and on another one that is called Perpetuation of Varieties in Species by Natural Means of Selection in 1858, and is credited with co-discovering natural selection. Also, he developed the Wallace effect. It occurs when natural selection favors reproductive isolation between two divergent populations, eventually creating two separate species.
The 19th century was the greatest century that had industrialization. The economy was starting to get stable. The monarchs started to know more about, to learn about their mistakes, about their family mistakes. So it was a period in where they already have an idea of what was happening, about how they can fix problems, about when war already passed. They fix their problems in a different way, but not war. And they too had their answers, not because church said it, not because God said that was one way. Like an example, if I ask it why the sky is blue, church will say because God made it that way. But man started to say that was not in the 19th centuries. That was in the 18th centuries, half of the 17th. But men started to say okay, I know that God created everything, but why is it blue? Why he decided to be blue? So they start to get a little bit uncomfortable with that type of answers. So they start to research, okay, maybe because if the ocean water is blue, it reflects the sky. That could be a possible answer for this. And they say, okay, if we have this answer, they're everything, every color of every single thing should have an answer like this too, not just because God created it. In this part that is 18th centuries, Wallace is not in this part. Wallace is in the part of 19th centuries, the part I'm going to talk about. In the 19th centuries, as I already said, they have already an idea about what was happening in the world. They were smart, they already knew about science, they already knew about biology, astronomy, everything. The difficult part already passed. So now was just a time to make new questions, new inventions, new discoveries. And here enters Wallace. Wallace, he had a lot of... he lived in Great Britain, so it was really contaminated in there because of the industries that started to work there. But still he had a lot of field to work on, really green areas and big areas of that. He read a lot. He loved to read, as did Darwin's. Both of them had really similar ideas about what was natural selection. And they say that they read the same books. So maybe that's one reason, because they have the same ideas. And Wallace had a lot of work to do. His first work, well, he started working in where he identified the Wallace line that divides uh, the Indonesia into two distinct parts, one in which animals closely relate to those of Australia, like they were common, and one in which the species are largely of Asian origin.
Imagine being born on a poor family, you have to work on the countryside, and the only thing that's interesting is the plants. That was the early life of Alfred Russel Wallace, the creator of evolution and one of the great scientists of the 17th century. In February 1855, while staying in a small house in Sarawak, Borneo, Wallace wrote what was probably the most important paper on evolution prior to the discovery of natural selection,